unboxing is Gertie, the darling duck of World War II. Written by Shari Swanson and illustrated by Renne Graef. And it has a little bit of a Make Way for Ducklings vibe, but also an old-fashioned, even more old-fashioned than Make Way for Ducklings. It has that World War II type of coloring. So I have to say, the illustrator nailed it, you know? Like, it really has a timeless classic feel to the cover and to the illustrations, but it isn't, but you know, like, oh no, this is not Make Way for Ducklings. But, you know, with ducks, you do get, you know, that is like such a iconic picture book. So here we start, 1945, Gimbals. It kind of tells us a bit of, you know, a bit of a clue of where it might be in Milwaukee River. I thought it was New York, but it's not. So a duck flew to a tall post. And, you know, it's almost, oh, she has a band. She does have a band because she's being tracked, perhaps. But it definitely has, you know, star quality like the Make Way for Ducklings parents. And she raises her eggs. Where is it? She is a tall post out of the Milwaukee River. So that's an unusual spot for a nest. Not much of a nest either, you know, almost like just a hole in the piling. But like kind of the same type of attention as the ducklings in Boston. And so anyway, one egg, it looks like one egg needed a little bit of help to get free. And then they're trying to help the mama and her babies. And the war's over, soldiers come home, and it's just a story of how this duck lifted everyone's spirits during a time where, you know, the country was at war and there wasn't a lot of happy news. You know, this reminds me because during the COVID lockdown, you know, we were all, you know, stuck in our homes, and I'll show you, you know, this is where I live. And, you know, people were, you know, we kept walking our dog because that was the only time you can kind of do something. Our dog sometimes went on like 3 walks in a day, like an hour each. Not that he minded, but something incredible happened. We had a family of hawks that nested like all the way to the right here. And when the hawks got bigger, when they were almost like teenagers, they started hopping around these trees when they were learning how to fly. And then all the neighbors, like, you know, all the like people in these houses around us, like especially like around dusk, where the hawk babies would be very active, we would all sort of, you know what I mean, come out and watch them and take photographs. And they weren't tame. I mean, they weren't like, you know, they're still wild animals, but they got very friendly with us. I mean, they would sort of hang out, and they wouldn't be, as they grew up and got older and older and bigger, they weren't so, you know, they were like, they would like just kind of hang out nearby, like on top of someone's car. Or my husband actually hosed one down because they kind of enjoyed the water when he was watering. It was incredible. And it lifted our spirits through COVID lockdown. And then they all grew up and flew away. And, you know, you could kind of watch them learn how to fly and fly further and further. But every now and then when we see hawks in the air near us or in the vicinity, we're like, I think those are our hawks. And I think the original hawk parents come back to the nest, which is my neighbor's tree. I think year after year, but it hasn't been the same. Like, we haven't had that same kind of interaction where like every day we go like, let's go check on the hawks, because they were so loud when they were doing whatever. Like there were 3 of them. Like you know, you couldn't miss it. They were so loud. But anyway, This is a book I would definitely pair with Make Way for Ducklings. I think it's a wonderful story and also an instant classic. So thank you to Sleeping Bear Press for sending me this book, and thank you for watching. And you know what? I'll link some videos of the hawks in my neighborhood, including the one where my husband literally gave a hawk a bath, a shower.